I'm Fiona Burnett from SRUC and welcome to this crop health update for the Farm Advisory Service. We're moving into a period of thundery, quite warm weather at the end of June now, and there's really quite a lot going on health-wise in crops. So we're in a crop of winter wheat, which is still looking relatively green, but some of the wheats around the country have really suffered from that very dry period we've had. Flag leaves are beginning to roll and we're moving towards harvest. But even though we had that dry period, there's still quite a lot of disease in the winter wheat crops. So you can see yellow rust on the tips of these leaves here, and that's really quite typical around the country, quite a lot of rust. And that septoria that we had overwintering in that warmer winter still kind of nibbling away at the crop. The wet weather as well is really ideal for head diseases, so the key action in wheats would be to do your mycotoxin risk assessment, and some of that will be driven by your local rainfall, so those local dumps really increase the risk of those head diseases. For the spring barleys, they went into later drilling because of that very wet March that we had, so we then moved into a drier April and May, which might have limited the amount of ramularia that we'll see in those crops, which that disease doesn't like dry conditions. But we've still got bits of disease in the spring crops as well, so quite unusually little bits of yellow rust and brown rust coming into spring barleys right up to the northeast of the country. Small amounts of rhynchosporium as well. And again, hot humid conditions such as we've had really shouts potato blight. So for the potatoes out there, we know that we had the first blight periods at the beginning of June, those Hutton periods that mark high humidity and high temperature. And we've had a couple more since the beginning of June, so it's quite likely we're going to see blight in crops quite soon. And you know, we're in a period of very rapid growth, so for the potato crops, pick those blight fungicides that really are good at moving into that new growth.